If you want to pray and get what you want, there's two mistakes you must avoid. Many of us unknowingly are making two critical mistakes that can hinder your prayers. First, it's treating God like a vending machine in the sky, and you press the buttons and say, hey, give me this, please help me.
A lot of people are guilty of that. God is some type of Santa Claus, but I'm going to let it roll on so we can discuss the correct way that you should connect with a divine source.
Meant to be a reciprocal relationship in prayer. But secondly, we have these unanswered prayers and then we start to worry. But in the Bible, it says that you are made in the image of God. God is omnipresent. It's closer than it appears. All of your desires are closer than you think that they are. So instead of asking for what you want, practice appreciating God's omnipresence, that God already hears you and is already manifesting in your life.
All right, so we're going to discuss the correct way that we should be connecting with source and attracting abundance in our life. I cannot reiterate enough that abundance is already the normal state of the universe. The universe is already in abundance. It already exists in fullness. It already exists in completeness. There is nothing that is missing. There's nothing in scarcity. If there's scarcity and lack, it exists in our form. It doesn't exist in the universe. And if you are out of scarcity, if you're in scarcity and you're in lack, then you are out of alignment with the correct state of your being. So that's the first problem, is to get back in alignment with the normal state of your being. All right. Anything of lack and separation is out of alignment with what source and the universe is. So that is always the first step. But we're going to talk particularly about the Zeal Point chakra, which is the chakra that is at the base of your skull. And this is the chakra that connects you to your higher beings, your ancestors, extraterrestrials, or ascended masters, or how you perceive higher consciousness, all right, or your higher self, right? Why don't we go through the crown chakra, right? Because the crown chakra is that reconnection, to abundance, to prosperity, to everything. So going through the crown chakra just connects you to everything. But communication has to happen through the Zeal Point chakra. All right. Your crown chakra is about that oneness, that connection with everything. But the actual asking of things come through the Zeal Point chakra. And so we're going to discuss how we should go about using the Zeal Point chakra in establishing communication to get the things that we desire. And it doesn't happen through prayer to God, because you're already connected to God. If you've been working with your chakras and realigning yourself back to that, you're already connected to that. But we're talking about things that your particular self desires in your life journey. How should you go about communicating that? And that goes through developing the Zeal Point chakra. So as we look at the Zeal Point chakra, we look at it as the mouth of God. That's how it's referred to, as the mouth of God, or your ascendant chakra, or the well of dreams, right? And I said earlier, it's located at the base of the skull, and this is where the neck meets the head. That's where that Zeal Point chakra is at. The Zeal Point chakra is a multidimensional gateway that connects the physical and the spiritual realms, and it facilitates your deep spiritual insights, your divine communication. I cannot stress that enough. That's what we're looking at. Your divine communication happens through your Zeal Point chakra. So as we look at that, we're looking at higher consciousness and how that works. So as we examine it, there are ways that we can determine why we are not being able to communicate effectively through our Zeal Point chakra, right? And one of the ways is through neck tensions and headaches. All right. That physical discomfort shows that there's a blockage somewhere in that Zeal Point chakra. and that is some energy that's being held up in that. So if you feel a lot of neck tension, a lot of headaches, then you know there's a blockage in that 0 point chakra. Difficult assessing your intuition. A lot of times communications are being sent to us and to aid us in how to move left and right, how to go forward, how to go backward, because these higher beings, these higher consciousness, the higher voice of God is already communicating with us, but we are blocked by our 0 point chakra, right? So if you can't access your intuition, that is a example of a blocked 0 point chakra, along with sometimes not being able to remember your dreams is sometimes a block in that 0 point chakra. If you have a hard time expressing yourself and voicing your deep truths and talking and communicating, because you got to remember your desires are often communicated, right? And so if they're not being communicated effectively, it could be a blockage in that in your throat chakra, which is connected to your 0 point chakra. And that's how you can determine if there's a blockage, if you can't even speak what you desire. So let's look at some ways to activate the 0 point chakra, right? That color is magenta. We know each chakra has the different colors. We know the root is red. We know the sacrum is orange. We know the solar plexus is yellow. We know the heart chakra is green. We know the throat chakra is blue. And we know the crown chakra is indigo. And we know that with the third eye chakra is indigo, and the crown chakra is either purple or white. All right. So along those lines, the 0 point chakra is magenta in color. And so focusing on the color magenta actually feeds the energy. Remember, when we say color, we're talking about frequency, actually feeds that energy into that chakra. So sometimes meditating on the color magenta is helpful in developing that chakra and removing the blockages in the 0 point chakra, right? So also some crystals, we always have to work with crystals because of what? Crystals amplify energy, or they mutate energy to something that is beneficial to what we desire. So when we're working with the 0 point chakra, right, we're looking at the crystal amethyst, which is going to help you power up your divine connection. Labradorite, which is going to enhance your your psychic connection. And then selenite, which is a great cleansing crystal for a lot of things, but it's going to actually clear the energy up so you can be able to communicate more effectively. All right. So that can be done on your own, but if you're looking for an easier way to do it and a more consistent way to do it, we do offer a 0 point chakra activation kit, which consists of essential oil that you will actually rub on that 0 point chakra, and then setting the tension with the bracelet, the magenta color bracelet, and then having the crystal that you carry on you, right? But what we added is to help you encourage that communication into your higher self and your ascended masters and those beings that are a part of God. Okay, we are all a part of God. God is all. God is oneness. So when you say I'm communicating with God, it is correct. It also is correct if you're communicating through your ascended masters or communicating through your higher self or however you see it, right? That is also true too. So we will look at that when we're trying to enhance that communication. We offer this pendulum as part of the kit in being able to practice the communication from that 0 point chakra. So you get all that in this kit to aid you in reestablishing your connection with higher source through the 0 point chakra. It is not through the prayer, it is through communicating through certain things. If you look at the movie Matrix, they had the portal connected to the base of the spine. This is where we communicate to our higher selves and our higher forces that work on our behalf. All right. So I hope something I said resonated with you in your journey. I appreciate you allowing me to take the time to share this with you and being part of this conversation. I want to wish you love and light in your journey. Mind my mind, mind my mouth, and mind my heart. Love and light in your journeys.